If you're new to sourdough bread, then I think you should know it's more nutritious and is easily digestible than a regular loaf of bread. This is mainly because it's made of a fermented dough which is risen using yeast and bacteria found naturally in our environment. Basically, way before the introduction of commercial yeast packets that we use nowadays, this is how bread used to be originally made. Hi guys and welcome back. I started making sourdough bread mainly due to its health benefits and honestly because it wasn't always available in the regular supermarket shop. So to begin with, we need 3 cups of bread flour or just plain or all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 1/4 cup of lukewarm water, and 1 cup of sourdough starter, which helps with the leavening of the bread. Start by adding salt into lukewarm water. Once it dissolves, I'm gradually adding the liquid mixture, that's lukewarm water and salt, into the bowl of flour. As you can see, I think it's best to dissolve the sourdough starter into this jar with the rest of the liquid mixture to make it easy to mix it all in the bowl. Once it's all mixed in the jar, let's add it into the bowl and bring it together into a dough. Now let's cover it up and leave it to oatlize or rest for 30 to 40 minutes. While the dough is resting, let's feed our starter. Mine is a 2-year-old starter. Feeding is just done using flour and filtered water. I'll be making bread this week again, so I'm adding 1 cup of flour and just enough water to make a semi-liquid mixture. Now this can be left along with the dough to rise. Get a clean surface with water and after around 1 hour take the dough out of the bowl and knead it for around 1 minute in the slap, stretch and roll motion as I call it. I'm not great at this, but I do just enough to get a lovely loaf of sourdough bread. Wetting hands in between helps with handling sticky dough. After a minute of kneading, roll the dough like so and leave it back in the bowl to rise. My kitchen was around 22 degrees Celsius today, so I left it out on the kitchen counter as the temperature was warm enough. This is just for you to see how the dough feels like after kneading. It's quite bouncy and soft. So now both the dough and starter can be left together to rise for around 6 hours. Dough rises depending on the temperature of the area it's left to prove a rise. If you're doing this for the first time, it will be a good idea to check on the dough after about 3 to 4 hours, as proofing of the dough can vary from place to place. You will know the dough is ready when it has doubled or tripled in size and it feels a little jiggly. Give it a turn or two in the bowl and place the dough on a lined baking tray. I wet my hands again to give the dough a little shape in the tray. Once that's done, let's cover it up and leave it to proof or rise for another 2 hours, again on the kitchen counter. It's just been an hour now and you can see the dough has spread out and doubled in size. I would have liked it to have a better shape. In hindsight, I think I could have given the dough a couple more folds while it was in the bowl, but I still know it's going to give me that crispy crust and a soft crumb that I'm so looking forward to. Let's rub the surface of the dough with a little flour and then score it using a sharp knife. Scoring is done to allow the steam to escape through a designated space rather than breaking through at unexpected places while baking. Now let's leave it for another hour or so before it can be baked. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 230 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes at least. Leave an empty baking tray in the oven while preheating. Once the dough is ready, we'll steam the oven by pouring hot water into this preheated tray and then place the dough in and bake at 230 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes and then remove the baking tray with water and bake again for another 15 minutes until the crust is nice and brown. The bread has just come out of the oven and I'm loving the texture of the crust. Place it on a cooling rack like so and leave it to cool for 3 to 4 hours before cutting into it. Now let's cut into the bread. It's turned out just the way I like it. The exterior is crispy and the crumb is soft and pillowy. And we've managed it all without using any fancy equipments or even a Dutch oven. Hope you've enjoyed it and is inspired to bake your own loaf of sourdough bread. So stay safe, lots of love and God bless.